A new report suggests that a PS5 Elite or PS5 Pro controller is in the works and could be announced before the end of the month. The origin of the rumor comes from known leaker Tom Henderson, who posted an article on tryhardguides.com writing, "Sony is working on a genuine professional controller for the PlayStation 5 and the company will reveal new hardware in the coming weeks," according to industry sources. To kind of take this one step at a time, Tom Henderson did kind of elaborate on Twitter that the rumors around a new hardware announcement come from basically a different source or multiple sources from around the industry. Other websites have reported on those. So he's not certain that the new hardware announcements would be specifically for this new controller or not. The previous rumors have basically suggested that an impending hardware announcement could be coming soon about a half-step console or like a slim version of the PS5, for example. It does seem really early for that, considering, how late of a start we got on this current generation of console hardware, as well as, the just lack of availability of PS5s and Xbox Series X's. We've been dealing with mass amounts of scalping and obviously chip shortages, so I think this kind of announcement would probably frustrate a lot of people right now who can't even get a hold of a standard PS5. And I think that Sony probably knows that. So this controller announcement would make a lot more sense than kind of a new iteration on the PS5. I mean, obviously half-step consoles and slim versions are probably coming, but it kind of seems a little soon for that. As for the rumored PS5 controller though, there are a lot more details in Tom Henderson's story that make it seem far more plausible. According to Henderson, a source sent pictures of a prototype for the alleged PS5 controller, codenamed Hunt, and will include removable analog sticks, trigger stops, and rear buttons, or back paddles like on the Xbox Elite series of controllers. Apparently, there will also be removable grips for the controller and improved software. This is certainly interesting if it's true. There again have been a lot of rumors about new PlayStation hardware getting announced, and this controller kind of makes sense. The timing is a little odd though, considering we just had a pretty strong PlayStation State of Play at the beginning of June. It's hard to imagine them doing two kind of big or semi-big events in the same month, but that does seem to be what a lot of industry insiders are saying. Sony has announced stuff in blogs before, like PSVR 2. I think the official announcements from that came on the PlayStation blog, so we could see, a similar situation for this controller reveal. Obviously, the bigger PlayStation showcase featuring first-party titles is probably coming at the tail end of summer or in September like it did last year, but who knows, maybe we get a smaller kind of event or showcase, sometime between now and then. There's been a lot of rabble about God of War slipping into 2023, so maybe they could address that there. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier did report last week that inside sources told him God of War Ragnarok is currently on course to launch in November of this year. Now, in opposition to that, original God of War director turned content creator David Jaffe did tweet out earlier this week that he heard originally from one inside source that the game was on track for 2022, but another had texted him that it's no longer a lock. So maybe 2022, maybe not. Now that prompted a response from God of War 2 and God of War 2018's director, Cory Barlog, who's still at Sony. He basically quote tweeted Jaffe saying, "Wait, what?" with a gif of Kratos kind of standing menacingly, which for the most part would imply, per the studio's official statements and listings, that the game is still on for 2022. Or at least it is until it's not. Look, I love playing games. I love playing on PC or Xbox or PlayStation. I don't really care about the platform, but one of my least favorite things about Sony is kind of the amount of time and dead silence they have between their major announcements. At times, it can be a little frustrating. It always feels like a surprise or at least a relief when they finally come through, but the kind of back and forth online and the rumors and the speculation that's been up in the interim is always a little much. So I do wish they did control their messaging a little bit better, but I think probably every gaming company has this issue to an extent and could be better about, the messaging around their products. And also it's hard, right? Because sometimes they just don't have the answers right away. Games are hard to make, and that's just kind of the core of it. So hopefully we see that controller announcement soon, or at the very least an official confirmation about God of War's release date. That initial gameplay reveal trailer for Ragnarok has over 14 million views on YouTube right now. So obviously a lot of people excited about that game, and a lot of people just want reassurance that it's actually coming out in 2022, or if it's going to get pushed into 2023. All right, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments if you think God of War is coming out this year or not. Thanks for watching, and for more video game news and updates, be sure to stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.